Hello, hello, welcome back to another episode of The Room. Last time, we completed Chapter 3, and this time we're going to move up into Chapter 4. This is actually like a really short mini-chapter. I don't even consider this a chapter, like, at all. Like, because it's literally one puzzle. Stick this on there, and you just sort of reel it in, I guess. And actually, I was going through here normally, like, playing through the whole game, and then like the game actually crashed on me. I think because of something on my computer's end, and I lost my progress. So I'm actually replaying this chapter because I didn't want to skip this. Like, you could literally have skipped the chapter I just did without any problems. But anyway, so that's that chapter. So now we get to play the actual chapter. So now we get to play through what I consider the actual chapter, which is this sort of mad scientist's, like, resurrection area, essentially. There are only three major, or I guess four major spaces in this one. You have the center table, which is important. You have this science table over here, which is important. You have this, which is cabinet, which is important. And you have this over, I guess it's five. It's this over here, which has a little importance, and this over here, which also has a little importance. But first, we're going to go over here, and we're going to open this. First of all, we're going to open this, and before we forget, we're going to go over here and flip this down. And that opens that. Now you see these are two, so obviously we need to open that later, and we will. But first, we're going to go in here, get the screwdriver, and I guess we'll look at this. Subject Beta 4 Ratus Ratus. Subject necrosis significantly halted by pre-mortem application of serum number 5. Temporary musculature reflex restoration witnessed with post-mortem electrical stimulation of range 75 to 85 MA. So basically, the guy in this place is trying to restart human life. Basically, see, there's a hand in a jar there. Subject Alpha 17, Lamprey aurata. Subject unresponsive to post-mortem application of serum number 4 combined with electrical stimulation of range 10 to 100 MA. Corpus degradation considerable with high amperes. Include corpora unsuitable for further study. So basically he failed, at least with that one. So go over here, use the screwdriver on here, and turn this, and pull out a box. Now, this box has a couple things on it, but before we do anything else, we're going to go over to this table over here. And you might notice that as you move this, numbers appear. So, we're going to go to this, and you'll see it's a SS squiggly S with a line through it and a weird T shape. So, SS squiggly, so 1, S with a line through it, 7, and TT is 3. So 173. 173. This opens up and there's a battery inside, and we don't need that anymore. So, before we use the battery, we need to charge it back up. So stick the battery in here, and spin the wheel to make a deal. It's alive! Or it would be alive if we had actually stimulated it correctly. There we go. Pull the switch! And the battery now works. Hooray! Okay, so that works. Let's go back. Back over here. And stick the battery in here. Flip the switch. And more power is used. Make it a laser. Now we get to zoom into this thing. And this is kind of the puzzle, as it were. So, basically you're going to be using lights a whole lot in this chapter. So, for example, that opens that, and it shoots a light over here. And then it opens this, and we get this little star-shaped handle. So now, we can go away from here, go back over here, and go to this, stick this in there, and turn it. And now this changes to a 2, and now we can open it. Let's see, there's another flip switch there, so we're going to flip that down. Alright, and we can open this, and you'll see there's some stuff in there, but we're not going to deal with that just yet. First, we're going to grab this. This is a drum. We're going to grab this insect underneath, because we need that. We're going to read this letter. Kimberton Sanatorium. Dear Professor D. Montefaucon, while I don't doubt your altruistic motives, your sister's condition is not aided by her continued confinement to your estate. I beg of you to see Madame Lucy return to the sanatorium as early as can be arranged. Yours, Dr. Beckett. So basically, whoever's this place is, sister is in a mental institution, essentially. So what's up here? There's a switch. Flip the switch, that opens this, you get a handle. What's this? Subject EH, upper right appendage, severed a gliohumeral joint. Necrosis in subject halted completely, being pre-mort app of serum number 5, followed by post-mort app of serum number 4. Perfect musculature reflex witness with electrical stimulation at 77 to 3/4 MAs. Okay, so we have a couple of things we need to do. You also might notice a little laser thing there. That's for later. But first, we're going to go over here and just get this out of our inventory, because we don't need it right now. This opens up and we don't have another battery, and we can't take the other battery out. So we got to go back to this table first and go over here. Put the crank handle in here. Now we need to rotate this over here. So we can pull this out and then move it over to where the laser is. There we go. Okay. And that opens this, which shoots the laser somewhere else. That shoots it, guess where? Over there, to this mirror, which we now have to look inside, and as you might imagine, shoot it into this. Which opens this, somehow. And the puzzles are a little nonsensical, but hey. Let's open that up, and we have a couple things in here. First and foremost, we have a battery. So take the battery. Secondly, you have this bug. And that's all on the top shelf. On the bottom shelf, however, you have this jar, which you can take this lid off of. And inside, there's a piece of a broken plaque, which is important, but there's also this. Subject L, cardiac viscous. Necrosis halted indefinitely. Manual operation at 77 and 3/4 milliamps. The simile of life restored only with proximity to raw null. No further avenues, no way back. Dear Lucy, forgive me, I was too late. So apparently he's just trying to keep people alive forever. Now what we need to do is move this back over here. And then open this again. And you'll see that there's a plaque missing. And this will open this, and it's a fuse. You might say, well, why do I need a fuse? Oh, oops. Forgot to put the insect down. Put the insect down. And we need to go all the way over here. And the reason is because when you stick this in here, and you'll see in a moment, some of you have probably already figured out why. So let's spin the wheel, make a deal. Come on. Hold the thing, and it blows off. Oh no! So let's stick the metal screwdriver into the electrified metal, because we don't value our lives. Get rid of the broken fuse, stick the new fuse in. Okay. Back here. Pull the switch. There we go. Okay, so now we have a new battery. Alright, so the battery's fixed. Let's go back over here. Drop the battery in here. Now we can look in this. And you'll see there's a moving arm. Oh my god, a moving arm. Okay, now, put the lens on. Look through it again. And oh god, there's symbols moving. So we have the weird little two triangles and then the single. Looks like almost like a ZO, but anyway, so that's now engraved on there. There's an insect there. Don't think there's anything else. So there's a symbol there we need to pay attention to. That's important. But first, we need to go over here. There's an insect down. There we go. That pulls this out. Now, if you've already figured it out about where that color looks like, it looks like this thing. We gotta stick this down here. And now we need to set it to the two triangle things and the O with a line through it. And that creates this key somehow. Anyway, okay, so that key's done. Now that we've done that, I believe we have to go back to this table. And should be a keyhole. Yes, right here. So basically, we need to make this key shape. So, an equal sign and a spike on the top. So, there. There. Stick the key in. Turn the key. Take out the stag beetle. And it should be noted, if you look at, you can't look at this yet, but you're going to need to. So let's go over here again. Stick the stag beetle in. And that removes this. So now we need to turn around and go back to this one. Back through here. Move it to there. And that's actually the only one you can move or change the movement of. Believe it or not. So now you got to go back in here. And you put it in there. That opens this, which gives us a lens, which fits on the eyepiece. So now we have kind of an enhanced lens, as it were. And there's this thing. Welcome. It seems to be my fate to forever standing on the shoulders of greater men. Monteficon's work here makes mine appear that of a child, but he never cracked the final secret to the doors as I have. He carried within the key all along, and he never realized. The soul is the root of the null. It comes down to a simple trade. Mine for hers and hers for yours. Wait, what? The heart is the seat of the soul. Travel well and don't look back. Whatever you see here, don't ever look back. Wait, what? I don't understand this, like, reveal. Like, this is supposed to be, like, revealing something, and I don't understand what it means by a simple trade. He's trading his soul for whose? The woman's? Hers? And then trading her soul for mine. But what? Why? I don't understand why you need to trade. It's not a simple trade. Why are you trading souls at all, man? What are you doing? But anyway, look at this, and you'll start to see that there's, you know, writing all over the frickin' wall. All over the damn place. Like, everywhere. But what you're supposed to pay attention to, there's a couple things you need to pay attention to. Mostly these. So you see this over here, and you'll see there's a little arrow pointing to that symbol. And then over one other place where it was pointed to. I was trying to remember where it was pointed to, because there's one more where it points out that exact thing. Or basically it tells you where they all need to go. I thought it was on the walls, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's on the table. Yeah, okay, so here's the second one. So number 3, for example, needs to go on this one. So number 3 needs to go here, and number 1 needs to go here. And then it's just a matter of, I guess, guesswork at that point. Anyway, take that off, and you'll see what appears to be a human heart. So flip the switches, because always flip the switches, I guess. Now this spins, and this opens up and creates a laser. And suddenly the doors are opening! And there's flashing lights. And here we are. Somewhere. Tentacles and stuff. Makes no goddamn sense. So click on the null, and it gets sucked into whatever this black stuff is. Okay. Now, you may remember, you may recall, that each one of these is supposed to do something. So turn to that, and this creates another door. Of course it does. And then the end! And that's the end of the game. That's the end of the game. Kind of anticlimactic. Now, for those of you who watched the first playthrough of my game, or the first playthrough of The Room 1, that room that you were in, that we just saw that was being destroyed, was the original room that we saw in the first chapter of the first game. So essentially, I think what they were going for was sort of like Call of Cthulhu, like Lovecraftian thing, where like the spaces between dimensions or some shit like that, and I think that's what they were going for, but it doesn't really work because the stories don't make enough sense. Like there's not enough understanding of what's going on to sort of fit the horror elements. Like there's not really a story, just kind of you move from room to room to solve puzzles, but I think while this game is entertaining for what it is, I think the big failing it has is that it doesn't know if it wants to be story-driven or if it wants to be puzzle-driven. Because the puzzles, when you know what to do, are simplistically easy, and most of the puzzles revolve around find a thing, stick a thing in a thing. That's really it. Like, most of the difficulty in these games comes from, like, searching for things, as opposed to, like, trying to figure something out. And the story isn't fleshed out enough or makes enough sense to, like, it doesn't make enough sense to, you know, have any impact on you. So it sort of ends just as abruptly as the first one did. So, I mean, I guess the game is good for what it is, but at the same time, I don't know if I'd recommend it after the fact. But yeah, that was the room too, so hope you all enjoy it. See y'all next time.